Hey, it's me, JoJo from Jerz, and shocker, I have something to say. MAGA loves to push this notion that Donald Trump has fought for them and is fighting for them now. That his many indictments on civil cases where he's been found liable for business fraud and sexual abuse prove that he's fighting for them. The fact that he's been removed from 2 states' ballots so far is proof that he's fighting for them, which of course is bullshit. But they don't care. Because to the cult, it doesn't matter what they know. It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what we can prove. It doesn't matter that they saw or heard something. They could burn their hand over fire, and if that deck-stained deity told them they should try it again because he was sure the same fire wouldn't burn them twice, they would stick their hand right back in. This is where they are now. And here's the truth. We aren't going to reach Ma and Pa MAGA with stats and facts. Believe me, I've tried. The truth is about as useful to them as a library card and an explanation for the existence of dinosaurs that doesn't include the Ark. If their melon-hued messiah tells them that he was the greatest president in history and that all the living past presidents have told him so, they'll believe him. He said Mexico was going to pay for the wall, and not only didn't they, we did. The $15+ billion to build some of it or repair existing fencing came out of our military budget. But now he stands before them and he says he actually never said Mexico was going to pay for it. And that all those hundreds of times they chanted, Mexico! Or about something else? Or it just never happened at all. And they believe it. He spends his every Sunday worshiping at Our Lady of the Perpetual Mulligan. He's been married 3 times and he cheated every time. He calls women dogs, mocks disabled people, brags about sexual assault, but he tells them he loves God, and they believe him. He lost in 2020 and has one of the worst economic records in our history, even without the pandemic, but he tells them the election was stolen and that the low gas prices during the global pandemic he woefully mismanaged proves that he made America great. And they believe him. He said there were airports during the Revolutionary War, looked directly at an eclipse, asked about injecting disinfectants, and pronounced Yosemite as Yosemite. But he tells them he's a very stable genius for remembering 5 whole words in order, and they believe him. He dodged the draft 5 times, attacked a POW, demeaned a Gold Star family, insulted a military widow, and called the fallen of war suckers and losers. But he tells them he loves our troops, and they believe him. His ties were made in China. He sided with Putin over our own intelligence agencies. He stole our national security secrets. He praises Kim Jong-un and President Xi while insulting President Biden. But he says he's America first, and they believe him. He's been found liable decades worth of egregious business fraud in which he vastly overstated his value, but he says he's a real estate savant, and they believe him. He also says now that he's just a politician and not rich, so the good stock market under Biden doesn't help him. He refused to accept the peaceful transfer of power. He incited an attack on our Capitol and plotted to overturn the legitimate election he lost, but he tells them that he's a patriot, and it was stolen, and they believe him. He's been indicted 4 times. On 91 charges for everything from paying a porn star hush money to subverting democracy. But he tells them he's doing it to protect them from what? It's not quite clear. And they believe him. He tells them that he'll never surrender while asking them to buy a t-shirt of him literally surrendering. And they believe him. He gave a massive tax break to the rich that never trickled down, unlike his golden showers. He wants to take away health care, Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. He never fixed their roads, got them broadband, ended the opioid crisis, or brought back coal. But he says he's done more for them than anyone ever could. And they believe him. He can say whatever he wants. That he's a young, healthy family man, a patriot, and a devout Rhodes Scholar who can run marathons in his sleep. And it does not matter. None of it matters. He hates who they hate. He feeds that hate. He legitimizes it. And that is all that matters. That's all they think they need. They'll support him no matter what for that one thing. He's told them over and over again that he's conning them Every time he says he did something he didn't, or didn't do something he did, he's telling them. And they'll send their insulin money to a billionaire every single month anyway, because of hate. And while we can't change them, we do outnumber them. And that is why we have to vote. Well, that does it for this rant. Happy New Year. And here is to a 2024 where we kick that orange asshole out of politics once and for all, put his ass in jail, and protect this democracy. See you all next year.